I'm just hanging around. I sit right here. I'm just spending my time. Sometimes you laugh when I cry. Sometimes I ask myself why.
Good morning, guys. It is the weekend of Memorial Day, so Memorial Day weekend, and we're actually off to South Beach, Ocean Boulevard, something. I don't think I've ever actually been to South Beach unless I was an itty bitty little baby. I don't know, because I can't recall actually ever being there. But there's supposed to be these really cool land and sea military air shows that are going to be taking place, and that'll be a first for me. I'm very excited to see the kind of planes that they have, the kind of formations, and all the patriotism, So yeah, very excited about that. And it is such a scorcher right now. I have to turn on the air or I melt away. But I have like a very simple little fit, wearing my little shorts. They're not short shorts, but they're shorts. Anyways, I'm with my sisters. My older sister's in the back, and then my other sister who's in the middle, she's in the front. And we're very excited. My goal for today is to have fun, to be very light, the brevity of like lightness, if that makes sense, and to maybe get a tropical drink in me, whether it be a mojito or a pina colada-esque type of drink, something quite refreshing, quite tropical, and quite happy. I'm just so happy to have the day off, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, today we're off to the air show. We're gonna go have some fun, hang out by the beach, walk a bit. I got my tracker going to get my steps in, and I better, as I said, turn on the air because it is probably 100 degrees Fahrenheit, probably 40 degrees Celsius, give or take. Anyway, very excited. Don't forget to like the video if you do. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you don't want to miss any upcoming content from me.
Keep calling out, the wind starts to howl loud for the moon.
Guys, I took off my sunglasses because I can barely, oh my goodness, I wanted you guys to see my face, but yeah, we have this kind of like Black Hawk looking type of Mogadishu-esque helicopter just doing some cool flips and tricks here over the water. And there's also like a cop boat kind of thing doing something in the water. Very, very cool. It is a scorcher out. I can't describe to you how freaking hot it is. And the sand here in South Beach is very like white hot, like sandy white sands, you know? So it's kind of like giving that blinding effect, but happy to be here. Happy to go ahead and get some fresh air and whatnot. But man, I am glad I have this umbrella with me. But you guys can hear the propellers of the helicopter, I'm sure. Yeah, very, very cool. Okay. Okay, ladies, now let's get information. The sun is getting to me, y'all. I might be a few shades darker now. I can barely see into the camera. Anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys, we're under this kind of makeshift tent umbrella type thing. Somebody at the beach, this older gentleman, was like, ladies, my kids are out at sea, aka they're out swimming or whatever, they're never gonna come back. You guys want it? I was like, yes, please. It's so hot. It's so hot. Thank you for rescuing us. But yeah, very, very generous and kind. You might be wondering what this latest fashion is in my hair. I call it H2O Eco Chic. Yes, there's a plastic bag. That guy looks like he's about to attack us. That doesn't look right. Let me show you what I'm looking at. He was staring straight at us. Off you go. Oh, he's turning around. Ah, right. So cool. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys that update that, you know, somebody was generous enough to give us their tent and protect us from this crazy, crazy sun. So grateful. Yeah, but so far it's just been a very, like, just chill. We're just watching the planes and the helicopters go by, the jets and whatnot, and they're doing their little flippy poos. We saw somebody go completely vertical. It was really cool with their jet wash and their exhaust. A little bit of a sea spray just came through right now. But yeah, it's a very bright, sunny day. It would have been nice to dip into the ocean, but didn't bring any suits. And honestly, I wouldn't really want to go swimming on a day like this. It's just too much. Yeah, but having a good old time so far.
to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
You're seeing a lot of dust because the sun is hitting, which I love. But time for an update, you guys. I want to let you know where I'm at. I'm smiling because I've been reading some fun and good books. I just love them. I personally just love them. Okay, so the first one, I don't even know because I can't even see myself right now, but the first one, will pop it up on the screen, and it's gonna be The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Oh my gosh, I think Lynn Painter is becoming one of those kind of like auto-read, auto-buy authors. I love this young adult story where these kids are basically spending Valentine's Day over and over again. It kind of took me by surprise as I was reading the book. It's like, oh yeah, that's what it's called, The Do-Over. So basically we're following this high schooler named Emily Hornby, and she's super excited for Valentine's Day, and you know, she's just ready to tell her boyfriend that she loves him and just have the best day. She picked out a present for him, etc., etc. And come to find out, the day just is a disaster. She does not get the scholarship that she wants to go to a specific university. She sees that her boyfriend kisses his ex in his car. What else? Oh, she crashed her vehicle at the beginning of the day, so she had to call insurance, the police, the works, all of that jazz. What else happened? Just even the beginning, it's very much so giving Groundhog's Day, and the day just derails. And she also encountered this, you can tell immediately, like, this is gonna be this guy that she spends time with in chemistry. She encounters him when she crashes into his truck at the beginning of the day. So the day is just, it's a series of unfortunate events, and it's just horrible. By the end of the day, she's just so excited to go to bed, and then when she wakes up, it's like that particular sound of, like, you know, like, you remember when SpongeBob, I don't know if you guys may not know this, but SpongeBob, he had a thing that he kept doing over and over again. It's like he just does things over and over and over again. So that's what basically happens to this young lady. She wakes up on Valentine's Day and she's like, what is going on? It's like, it's like infuriating.
Okay, so you think you're caught in some kind of what again?
Time loop. Hot sauce.
What?
Coffee black and some hot sauce for the whoops.
Nice reflexes.
I knew it was going to happen, Dean. I know everything that's going to happen.
You don't know everything.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, right.
Nice guess. It wasn't a guess.
Right, you're a mind reader.
Cut it out, Sam.
Sam?
You think you're being funny, but you're being really, really childish. Sam Winchester wears makeup. Sam Winchester cries his way through sex. Enough! Randy, the cashier, he's skimming from the register. Judge Myers, at night, he puts on a furry bunny outfit. Over there, that's Kel. He's gonna rob Tony the mechanic on the way home.
What's your point?
My point is, I've lived through every possible Tuesday, and then I wake up, and then it's Tuesday again. Dog. Where's my dang keys?
Where's my dang keys?
I loved the way Lynn Painter wrote it. It was fun, exciting, quirky. It just, like, you just want to keep reading it. I knew something crazy was going to happen when she started shifting the events. So I'm going to leave that for you guys to find out, but I loved it. I really did, and I want everybody to read it. It's so cute, it's so light, it's just unproblematic. I loved the Do-Over. You can expect it to be a little bit predictable, and it wraps up just perfectly. I think that Lynn Painter wrote it was just very believable. It's like, oh my gosh, this girl is losing her mind. She's having the same date over and over again. And how exactly does she break the curse, you know? And, yeah, and it's a love story as well. It has a little bit of a, you know, high school love kind of thing. So super cute. Now this other one that I need to update you guys on. I was like, kicking up my heels. I was giggling the whole time. I was smiling ear to ear. I liked this one a lot. I didn't think it would be that good. First of all, look at this cover. It's giving Happy Place by Emily Henry. Tell me that's not true. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Like, I was like, ugh. And then just the synopsis alone, you have words like Reddit. You have words like viral, catching feelings. Do you get what I mean? It's like, those are terms that are so, I was like, here we go again. We're about to have another, you know, predictable rom-com. And you know what's so funny? This actually came out in 2024. So very, very well done. Abby Jimenez, I almost gave this 5 stars. Almost. I'm giving it 4.5. It was so enjoyable. There's way more depth in the story than I thought there would be. It's so cute. So this was the story about how this young lady and young man have this supposed curse where whoever they break up with, that person ends up being, you know, they end up finding their true love later, you know, after they break up with that person. You know what I mean? So it basically says, when it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. And it's the same thing for this guy named Justin. He posts a Reddit thread and it goes viral, and Emma was encouraged by her friend Maddie, I believe, to just like, hey, message this guy, slide into his DMs, as the kids would say, and just find out, maybe you guys can cancel the curse out. She takes up her friend's offer, and basically you can tell what's gonna happen. It was just so cute. So in essence, the book touches on some heavier topics, I suppose. Sometimes it did feel like a PSA about trauma, about anxiety and mental health all the time, you know, like working through issues. It had that very, you know, Full House 90s, 80s, where it's like, you can tell that the way that this is written is to come across to the reader that, hey, this is the portion where you should really listen up, because I have a strong message to tell you about how you're not alone.
Stop it. Get some help.
And this is how you combat this trauma in your life, you know? So that was one thing that would have downgraded the book for me. I feel like other authors might do that better, possibly Patterson, you know what I mean? Possibly James Patterson. I would have to read more from him, but I feel like I haven't really run across that kind of like, listen up. Like, in the tearjerker violin type of music comes on, and you're like, this is the portion of the show where they're, you know, sending out their little message about how to take care of your mental health. It's like, understandably so, mental health is important, obviously, but it's like, hey, I have depression, and this is what you know what I mean? Like, that, I'm just saying, like, it's written in a certain way where it's like, okay, maybe you should have weaved that a little bit more seamlessly into your story, but Abby Jimenez, I did not want to put this down, guys. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I was like, this guy, the main dude, MC, I think that's what the kids say too. The main character, the dude, Justin, I think he's perfect. He's perfect. He's nearly perfect. So let me tell you a little bit about it. There's, as I said, they, you know, DM each other or whatever. They message each other online, and they're like, hey, we should date and kiss. And then eventually we shall find our true love after we break up. So they have the intention of actually getting together, dating to break up, and it's supposed to be just for the summer. Went and turned on some lights because I don't know how this will all look. The clouds kind of keep going in and out of the clouds. The sun keeps going in and out behind clouds, so now it's sunny again. So yeah, as I was saying, they have the intention of dating, and it's just for the summer. So what happens is that Emma, she's a traveling nurse. She was supposed to be going to Hawaii, and eventually she finds her way to Minnesota, where Justin lives. And of course I can imagine Minnesota being just the beacon and beauty of nature. It is like, you know, the top of America where, oh my God, the air must be so crisp. You have horrible winters, I can imagine, but just the nature, the hiking, the outdoors, the animals, it's another world. It's unmatched probably. And the lakes, oh gosh. Anyway, so she finds her way to Minnesota, and she rents like a bit of a cottage that's on an island with her friend. And as I said, they are traveling nurses, and for the next 6 weeks or so, she's going to try it out with Justin and break up with him. Obviously, they're going to fall in love. There's this whole other backstory of this psychotically toxic mother that she has that has really derailed her life. It plays a role in how she treats everybody, how her relationships go, how she basically is a travel nurse, because in essence, this mother abandoned her, and the mother just kind of placed her in a position where she would have to take care of herself. She has to be the adult. So that kind of trauma was weaved into the book the entire time. I'm trying to find a little quick moment. I can't stand mothers like that, by the way. The frazzled, bohemian, gypsy types who are like just so like unaware of people's feelings, unaware of how they are like in the moment. They're just too flighty. They're flighty as a feather, and they're crazy. They're not beautiful muses, you know what I mean? They're toxic and they're horrible. She is a terrible, terrible mother. You guys, and a lot of times throughout the story, my jaw was dropping. Justin has his own kind of parental maternal issues as well, which is like a parallel to the story. I really loved how multi-layered this romance was. I just didn't know that I was going to go into this and find, all of this depth. I can't imagine people giving this lower than like a 3 stars, but I know it's there. But I want to find, if I can, I should have bookmarked it. I kind of did, but it fell off. Okay, I just want to read this to you so you can kind of get how, let me make sure I'm being recorded. Yeah, good. Very good. Yeah, I just wanted to read this to you just to see, so you can get the temperament of this mother. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, my phone started to vibrate. I pulled it out expecting Justin, but I didn't recognize the number. And when I didn't recognize the number, I always answered. You know why? Because her mom is always in like Cancun, or she's I don't know, the Space Needle. Maybe she's at the Statue of Liberty. Maybe she's down in Miami with the Cubans and everybody else who comes to Miami. I literally live in Miami, and that's the first thing that came to mind. Like, or she might be in Utah, with the Mormons. Who knows where this lady ever is? She's everywhere, right? So she says that she always answers her phone. Hold on, I have to take this. And this is Emma speaking, our main character who falls in love with Justin, okay? Emma, this is the mom. Emma, you will not believe who I found. I bolted up straight. Mom, where have you been? Maddie rolled her eyes before pulling out her phone. Like, she's not here for this. Like, she knows this lady's MO, modus operandi. I think this is operandi. Anyway, she just knows her nature. It's like, why are you giving this lady the time of day? Boston, Mom said. I told you. I shook my head. No, you didn't, and your phone's disconnected. I was worried. I gave you the new number weeks ago, remember? I was still on Jeff's plan. Who the hell is Jeff? Who's Jeff? Some random prison boyfriend? And he canceled my line. Can you believe that POS? Pretty obviously sinister. I told you guys this before. It's not derogatory or an expletive. It's pretty obviously sinister. Can you believe that POS? God, Jane named men are the worst. I put my forehead into my palm, feeling the wave of relief I always got when I finally knew where she was. Anyway, she went on, guess who I found? You won't believe it. She paused for dramatic effect. Stuffy. I lifted my head. Stuffy? Yeah, that little unicorn doll you used to carry around everywhere. I went to visit Renee. Remember her? We stayed with her for 2 months back. It's like, again, pattern of you are unstable, flighty as a feather. Can't speak. Flighty as a feather. You're just bouncing from place to place. You psycho. I cannot. Unstable. You think that that's what your daughter needs? And it's like, you need to be committed. The ending was just, it was good. We stayed with her for 2 months back when you were in the 4th grade. She divorced that guy she was married to, the electrician. I don't know why she thought a Libra was a good idea. I'm a Libra. And a Taurus moon of all things. Can you imagine? She's selling dream catchers on Etsy now. I got you one. Anyway, she still had our boxes in her garage. Open a few up, and there he was, just sitting on top of a bunch of board games. Stuffy. I couldn't breathe. There were very few things that I cherished. I wasn't a sentimental person at all, but I loved Stuffy. I thought he was gone. Give me your address and I'll send him to you, she asked. Do you need me to Venmo you for the shipping? I asked, a little too quickly. But I didn't want her to put it off because she couldn't afford to send it. She'd lose him or damage him or get distracted and forget. No, I got it. Got a job as a cart girl on a golf course. Tips are so good. So, how have you been? Where are you? Tell me everything. I'm in Minnesota. We just got here today, actually. Minnesota, she said, her voice going a little flat. Oh my gosh, you see? If you knew, now that I just reread this, I know why she said that, like that. For some reason, it wasn't until just this moment that I remembered that this was where Mom had grown up. She didn't talk about it hardly ever. She left when she was 18. Where? She asked. Lake Minnetonka. I think that's how you would say. Oh, it's such a party lake. Like, why are you always about getting into a party, lady? Why do you have that like joie de vivre in your voice? There's nothing wrong with being a lively, energetic, happy, spontaneous person, but when it comes at a cost, you know, like you're burning everything that you touch, it's a problem. You're going to have so much fun. Make someone grill you a walleye. Hold on. Then she started talking to someone muffled in the background. She came back on and sighed dramatically. I gotta go. Text me the address. Love you. And then she was gone. By the way, this is the first like time that Emma, her daughter, was talking to her in like 2 years. So that's the kind of person that we would have to deal with throughout this entire novel. But I think my favorite thing was how, I hate this word, tender and loving and sweet, and I feel quite like it was very methodical, very slow paced. Like all the interactions between the two main characters, Emma and Justin, were just very sweet, very vulnerable, very, it felt honest. I just loved it, and I really highly recommend this one. 4.5 stars, nearly a 5-star. Certain things just maybe pull back for it being a 5-star. You would understand, I think, if you read the book. It's just Emma, the main character, she had a few flaws that definitely needed to be worked out, and that's what made me pull it back. Justin, the main dude, was nearly perfect. Funny, I laughed. I don't think I cried. No, I don't think I cried. It's not one of those. But yeah, this is very, very good. This lady is apparently a baker turned into an author. I was like, Abby, I need to go find out what else you have. I hope you guys like this little ramble session, but I really had to tell you about this. But yeah, like lots of surprises and just for the summer, and it is not the way that I thought it would go. Like it's definitely a heavier thing, and I'm like, please, somebody make this movie, make it right, make it good. Very good. Even with the trauma, depression, mental health talks in it, I was like, okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Entertaining. Oh, I can't speak enough about it. Okay.
Later.
Why is Jesus doing?
Well, do you remember when Jesus said he will put the temple back together in 3 days?
He's really alive again! Oh, wow! Everyone should hear the story!
It is a great story.
This was such a fun video to film because of all of the space travel that I've done in my head and all of the little adventures from South Beach to watching Hidden Figures to rereading a couple of older books to visiting this new release by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So let me go ahead. I can never say her name. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid. Let me check. That's not good. Jenkins Reid. It feels like I don't know, you guys wouldn't get it. Maybe somebody would get it. I feel like I'm saying jinkies, like, you know, Scooby-Doo style. But anyway, it is nearly time for bed, to go shower, take care of things, bring yourself a nice little hot cup of tea. I was trying to get the steam to come about. Oh, whatever. Anyway, this thing is like scalding hot in my little MTV mug. I want my MTV. I finished Atmosphere, a love story. It's so tiny that it says a love story that you could just miss it. So overall, I would give the book 3 stars. I'm gonna put this down before I burn my fingers. I enjoyed my characters in there. I enjoyed the story, but there were lots of ups and downs, moments that was in and out of the story, in and out of people's progress and whatnot. I really wanted to love the story because it was supposed to be about, like, you know, space exploration and like somewhat of a women's movement. So the book basically starts at the climax of the story, where this insanely very eye-opening, heart-pounding situation happens to these astronauts. You're kind of provided little to no information, but you're given a lot of info as well, from, you know, the different people who are up there and people speaking to, you know, ground control. So something's happening in outer space in this basic shuttle, and it doesn't seem to be going quite positively for our astronauts. So we're kind of like thrusted, to use a term, NASA term, nerd. We're thrusted into this like crazy, like high stake adrenaline running kind of like situation where something terrible happens with these people's vehicle to get them back home to Earth, and we're put right back out. So yeah, we're dealing with this like dual timeline where we're in the future and we're in the past. We're seeing this woman named Joan and how she forges relationships with the different comrades that she has at the space program, and she's kind of like one of the first in her class as far as a woman and coming from a specific background as well. So I enjoyed that story. I did. Me being somewhat of a space nerd, I love all things aliens, UFO, NASA, like space engineer. I'm not saying like I'm an aeronautics physics major or anything like that, but I love the idea and the astronomy, like the whole thing of space exploration. I've always loved it, whether it be in songs or movies, or even most recently in 2023, I believe, for my birthday, I took a trip out to Cape Canaveral in Florida with my family to the Kennedy Space Center, and it was like a kid in a candy shop. So much fun. Such a core moment, a core memory that will definitely be staying with me for quite some time. I still think about that trip, and we kind of want to go back because I hear that they're, you know, possibly maybe going to launch a shuttle in the next couple of years to try to go back to the moon. So I love space exploration, and just that whole facet is just so beautiful and so trance-like, and just such a wonder, you know what I mean? So my problem with the book was that I thought I was coming into a story that was supposed to be more so about, like, you know, space, and it was more so a love story. Another little blurb did say that, but I wasn't expecting that, and it was a bit of a downer because I wanted more of that I don't know, that kind of Ad Astra, Interstellar, Hidden Figures, which is why we ended up watching it for this video. But I wanted the book to go more into that direction. And another issue with the book that I had was that Joan, our main character, and I do see it in a lot of reviews, and a lot of people do kind of agree with that sentiment, is that she falls really flat. She's quite lackluster, and she's not really giving much on the page. All the way to the very end, I have to say, you know, I won't spoil the ending. It really kind of almost tears your heart out. Like, it really feels like a movie. That's the only way I could describe it. Like, all the way to the very end, something insane happens with these two characters, and you're wondering whether or not people are alive, or if they're dead, or somebody's gonna, you know, like make it back home, that kind of thing. And they, like, very much so, I don't know, it very much so takes your breath away. So I will give it that. But yeah, it was an enjoyable book, but I feel like for my first Taylor, I'm gonna have to give it a 3. Hopefully the next book that I reach from this author is much better. I don't know if Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is a better recommendation. You guys let me know. Or if what is it called, the Jay-Z Jones and the Six I think that's what it is. If that one is really good as well. So you guys will let me know. But I think I'm gonna end the video here. I really wanted to like build a puzzle and possibly even bake, but we'll do that in another video, I promise. I don't want this to go too long. It's probably at a 40-minute cap, and oh, you know, I already say that I don't love when my videos get too lengthy. But yeah, I really want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed all the fun things that I got into throughout the video, and don't forget to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys very soon. One thing before I do go,
Promise not to leave us, tarry not to